welcome back to another week. We have this week the 2024 Acura TLX Type S. You'll have to forgive me, there is a storm coming, so there is a lot of wind, but let's just take a quick look around before we hop inside. You can see that for the 2024 model year, they actually did change the front end a little bit. Looks a little bit smaller on the grille, but actually looks way better, way more sportier, I think. I've got it in a white color with some black rims, which usually you can't see very well. So hopefully you can actually see we got red brake calipers there, which is really nice to say Acura on them, the Type S badging. I actually don't mind the white here. Usually I'm not a white fan, but on the camera you might not be doing it too much justice. Let's hop around to the back where you'll see we got the TLX badge. We got absolutely 4 cannons out the back that do have quite a bit of noise. The SH all-wheel drive badge right there. Little spoiler here, which looks really nice. It looks a little bit more grown up than its brother or cousin, whatever you want to call it, the Acura Type S. But this one is just a little bit more grown up, a little bit more like sedan, like daily driver kind of esque. You don't need the manual transmission with this guy, so yeah, it's really nice. But since it's so windy, let's hop in before it rains and I'll give you my first impressions. Let's do it. All right, so I'm like running away from the rain right now. I was just in it. I didn't even think I was gonna get to record, but let's talk about the 2024 TLX Type S. I don't know yet if they've made any improvements to the driving. To me, just off base feel, it doesn't feel like it, but that's not a bad thing because there wasn't anything wrong in the 2023 version with the driving. Also, you'll notice not the t-shirt, but the sweater, I have to wear it. Ferrari won Monaco. Charles Leclerc came in first for the first time, so huge fan of that guy. So I'm wearing a Ferrari shirt today in the video. Anyways, so TLX Type S, like I said, doesn't feel any different from last year driving wise yet, but I don't know for sure on paper if they actually made a difference. I believe the horsepower engine is all the same, but still we have 355 horsepower, I believe, and also it's still a V6 that actually sounds pretty decent. Pickup is pretty good. I'm just like kind of in some traffic right now, so I'll show you that in a second. Handling is phenomenal. Like, it's like, you know, I love the handling in the Honda Civic Touring, and this is the Acura, so obviously it's that stepped up, right? So I'm in normal mode now. Sport mode, you can hear the exhaust a little bit. Got some kick to it, right? But if I hold my dial here, Sport Plus mode, you can really hear the exhaust. And it's not like a crazy poppy exhaust like the Acura Type S. This is, like I said, more tame, more gentlemanly-like, but the brake response really, really improves. The brake response is quite good even in normal mode, like it's quite touchy, but in sports mode and Sport Plus mode, like I barely have to really put my foot in it at all, and it's already stopping. And like I said, the SH all-wheel drive system, absolutely fantastic. Makes me feel like a Ferrari driver. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, you can hear the little downshifts and upshifts that it's doing. It's so good. And like, I got a dry road, and I believe last time I might have been on winter tires when I tested it. I don't believe that I was on summers. So now I'm on summer, so a little bit more grippy as well. So nice to be able to launch this thing around. It's really, really kicky. And I don't know, I don't feel like I appreciate it as much the first time as the second time around. Like, I feel this time like it's really, really high up on my list of cars that I really wanted to get into again this year, because I don't feel like I had enough time last time to really appreciate it. But now I do. You guys seem to like that video that I did anyways, despite me not having like that much time. But I like the improvements. Digital gauge cluster is improved. I've got a bigger infotainment screen. I still got this garbage touchpad, but we will talk about all that as we get into the week. But first impressions, not a lot has changed, driving wise, but obviously exterior wise and a little bit interior wise, it does look better, looks less dated, and that's hard to complain about. So I'll pick it back up later on during the week as usual. Let's get into things. Let's do a week with the 2024 Acura Integra TLX Type S. Let's go. Alrighty, let's do a cold start. Looks like the storm is over, so let's try a cold start at night here, or in the evening anyways. Hold this, beep twice, and well, that's a good cold start. One of the better ones in a while that we probably heard here on the channel. Yes, sir. That sounds good. And I don't even think I started that in sport mode or anything. Power folding mirrors as well. Super nice. Look at this red interior. Woo, it's gonna be a good week. Oh, it's gonna be a nice week. Look at this. Let's see. Turn this thing on. Oh yeah, this will be fun. All right, so perfect time. It's a bit dark out. Actually looks like it's gonna rain, but perfect time to actually show you the interior for the TLX Type S. You can see already, we'll go over most of the improvements because I kind of showed you this, not too long ago, the 2023 version. So I'll just kind of keep it quick, keep it really short, and we'll go over the changes and talk about them mainly. But what's really nice though is I feel like they've improved like the sound dampening, like the way the door closes feels a lot better, also sounds a lot better. The noise isolation, I think they made some improvements on it as well, which isn't too bad. But here we go, left-hand side, I've got 2 memory seat settings. I think it's actually paired to my key fob. Then I have like the electronic front windshield heater, parking sensors, traction control, all that standard stuff. Then we'll get on to the main change, right? This one right here. This is our digital gauge cluster. You'll know last year we had a mix of digital and analog. Personally, I prefer this digital version that we get this year where I can change, different things on it. It reminds me a lot of the Acura Type S, pretty much almost the exact same one that you saw there. So you can kind of change the theme and stuff like that, and you can change what's on your left and right side. So that's really good. And then also you can see in the middle there, it shows a little picture. And when I press the brakes, it actually shows that on the little car there. I think that's really cool. So one of the really welcome changes, I think a needed change as well. I prefer it this way. Then onto the steering wheel. Again, not much change here. Same kind of stitching, just feels a bit newer, obviously. Got heated steering, which is nice. Adaptive cruise control, very good lane centering assist. Really, really good stuff on here. I love the feel of the steering wheel. It's nice and big, nice and large, Type S badge right on the bottom there. Oh, I just love handling this thing. It just makes it really, really good. Some still plastic paddle shifters, that hasn't changed there. Then we move over onto the other change here in the vehicle. This is a bigger infotainment display than last year. Although the unfortunate thing is, I still have to use this not so great touchpad. Look, I'd prefer to have a knob because at this point the screen is too far for me to touch with my hands. I prefer to have like some type of knob that I could use. The touchpad is just a little bit painful. I'm not a fan. It's not broken. It works decently, right? I just don't like the touchpad system. I never have, and I never will. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like it? Would you use it? Do you use it? I'm kind of curious to know. But with this, I have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. I can control my ambient lighting in here, which I don't think has changed very much. A lot of it's the same. I've got Sirius XM, built-in navigation, stuff like that. I can control all my settings from here as well. So that's going to be decent. Then moving just a little bit lower, you can see I have my HVAC controls. Again, pretty much the same from last year, no change there. I've got dual zone automatic climate control as well as ventilated and heated seats. Very easy to use, very easy to understand. Same thing here, we have our dynamic mode button or our knob, because it's a knob and a button in one, where you can see I can change it from sport to comfort to individual if I press it in, which I can customize if I hold it like this. Then I can customize a bunch of different stuff. The only thing you can't customize is like the exhaust valve noise, which I noticed. Like whenever I'm in sport, the exhaust is notably way louder, but I can't actually change that here. But here are my settings. I like to keep things in normal. Sport is steering, and then comfort for the suspension, and then obviously the idle stop, start stop. I turn that thing off because it is quite annoying. As you can see now, it's starting to rain. So yeah, that's the same. This is the same 2-gear selector here. If you press the drive once and then the drive again, you'll go into S mode, which is like the full beam sport mode, which is really cool, and it sounds good. So we'll take you for a rip there when it's a little bit drier out, a little bit less risk of going crazy. And then here you have the trackpad, which you do have some quick buttons, which does help, as well as the volume and the thing. I like this hand rest though that you can put your hand on, and kind of just, it makes it a little bit easier to use, so it's not too bad. Wireless charger, 2 cup holders, plenty of storage here in the middle console. So you can see I have my wires here for charging. The passenger has a decent enough space. I like the layout of the interior here, very nice looking. Type S on the seats, same seats as last year. The red with the black stripe down the middle looks really good. You can see it in the back there too, very nice. There's a little bit less, not less room, but there just isn't a lot of room. There wasn't a lot of room last year, the same for this year pretty much. Not too much room, but yeah, there it is for the changes. Oh yeah, one more change is that I believe now we have USB-C on board instead of just USB-A. We had USB-C as well in the back. We have some ports back there too. So good to see all around. Very nice to have. So yeah, I'll pick it back up later. That's the interior for the TLX Type S. Okay, so back outside, TLX Type S 2024. My tester here is pretty fully loaded, right? But there is a few things that you could actually go on the configurator and kind of option, so I'll kind of go over those. So front end, we pretty much have everything there is to have. When we get to the side, You can option some like bronze wheels that look really, really good. And you can also option like kind of like a body skirt that's like all blacked out that you could get. You could also option carbon fiber side view mirrors, which is really nice. You can also option a wing, which I do have, but you can get that as well in carbon fiber. But this one is just the normal black one, but that looks good. You can also have the option to black out all of your badges if you want. And then if we drop lower here, you can also get a carbon fiber diffuser, and I think you might be able to get one in the front. I don't remember, but I remember for sure you can get one in the back. You can't put the mud guards on though if you get those diffusers or the side skirt, I'm pretty sure. But still, the bronze wheels on this thing with like a black paint color or even a white paint color would look really, really good. But if this is all you want, basic, you don't have to option it, it looks absolutely fantastic. It looks, I don't know, I just find it looks so much better than the 23 version, but there isn't that much of a change. So if you can only afford the 23 version, not going to be disappointed. Same handling, same speed, same horsepower, same pretty much everything. It's just a little bit of a tweak in the front, but I think the tweak in the front makes all the difference for me. So I would go with this one. Okay, so as usual, got camera here, camera on the side there, so you can see the front of what's going on. We're gonna do some, talk about like maybe a little bit of the performance, kind of the handling. I'm gonna try to find like where I think I found like a little bit of a twisty road with a bit of speed bumps, but we'll kind of talk through it, and also like steering wheel feel and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll see if we can hear some of the noise isolation changes, because there is thicker carpets in here this year, as well as like thicker glass, stuff like that, just to help all with the sound deadening of the car. So we'll see if it's any different. I already can tell you that it's kind of different, but there is still kind of some noise. They did not eliminate it altogether. It's still a little bit of a noisy vehicle. It's still a little bit of, there's a little bit of wind noise that you can hear, especially when you're approaching speed on the highway. But cruising like this, it is definitely an improvement. Although, like if I pick up rocks or something, like because there's still a lot of dirt from the winter, if I pick up rocks along the side of the road, you'll hear them in the tires. So if I do, maybe you'll hear it on the audio if I actually run over some rocks. You might hear it like a little bit in the wheels, but it's nothing terrible. But yeah, the handling, even like, so I have it usually, I click my individual mode, kind of gives me like a sporty steering, and everything stays in comfort pretty much, besides the steering. And but still, it's like the handling, super handling all-wheel drive is no joke, because this thing is pretty quick. When you put it into sport mode, I'm just kind of waiting to get out of the little bit of the residential area here, and there's some traffic ahead of me, as you can probably see, so we don't want to ruin their day, so I'm just gonna let them get away a little bit, but we'll talk about it either way. So I like the fact that I could just kind of cruise along in basically what is comfort mode. The adaptive suspension is really good. I'm not bouncing around too much, like I'm just comfortable. Like I'm just completely comfortable, going 40 kilometers an hour, 30 kilometers an hour, whatever it is, just relaxing, right? No problem. If I wanted to, I could turn on the Sport Plus mode, which I will in a second here once I get more of a gap to the guy in front of me, and I could really go for it, right? Like, so I could do it like, once it's Sport mode, hold the tuner, put it in Sport Plus, you can hear the exhaust kind of pick up, and then we can launch this thing. And it's just like a little bit of wheel spin actually I could hear, but the handling is really, really good along this corridor here. Really, really solid. And the exhaust note here is really good. It sucks that you have to like really push it to get that noise out of it, but yeah, it's super fun. Like I can even I can take manual control, go to second gear, and it lets me push. It really does let me push. Oh my god, the shifting sounds really good. The exhaust sounds really, really good in the top end in Sport Plus. But it sucks that you have to kind of, really give it the beeps to get it. I wish I could, tune my valves the way I want to, so I can have it individual, the engine's a normal, but the exhaust is out there going crazy, This exhaust I think could use a tune, and I'm pretty sure some of the TLX owners that are probably going to watch this have that tune going on. So there's that's pretty good as well. But yeah, there you go. That's a little bit of performance. I think my stuff's about to die, so before that happens, I'm going to cut the segment right there. Little 3 minutes of performance. I'm probably going to do another one of these, just because it's so much fun to do. Maybe like a bit of a longer stretch, maybe a bit of more of a launch when I have a bit more space. I'm approaching a bunch of speed bumps now, so I'm going to turn myself back to to normal mode and just take a chill ride back to where I'm going. So I'll pick it back up later. I'll show you like the back seat if I can and stuff like that. And yeah, let me know what you think so far though. Do you like the noise that you heard? Do you like the TLX so far? Put that in the comments. All right, so unfortunately we are on our last day with the TLX Type S. And so we're gonna do a final walk around here for you guys. Just see the front end changes, side no change. So like, yeah, I really wanted to just do like a video that kind of talks about specifically the changes, week with the changes, because I've already showed you what it's like to live with it, but what do we think of the changes, stuff like that. So hopefully I've been able to do that properly. And yeah, let's put in a little clip of the revving because I just got that. Let's do that. There you go. It's a pretty good exhaust note, but only in Sport Plus. I wish there was something we could do to have it always loud. But yeah, what an excellent vehicle. What an excellent looking vehicle. This is the one to go with if you don't want to go fully manual, but you want to have a lot of performance and a lot of fun. So let's hop in one final time, give you my final impressions for the TLX Type S 2024. Let's do it. Alrighty, so now we're on to the part of the video that I hate the most, the final impression, especially when you're driving a TLX Type S that looks this good, that performs this good. It sucks. It sucks to have to make this video. My color doesn't match the seat at all today, but I have a little event that I'm helping out at, so we're going out early this morning, so I figure this is probably the only time I'm going to have to actually tell you my final impressions. Honestly, driving-wise, impressions haven't changed at all. It's still one of the best handling vehicles out there. I thought it was really good on the, the Civic Touring, and then obviously Acura just takes that to a whole other level. I feel so confident in every aspect of this, of this vehicle that it's just so good. Like, the super handling all-wheel drive is the only word I would use to describe how well this thing handles, right? Like, it's super handling. I can put the car wherever I want, and I have really good confidence in it, and I think that's cool. Also in the winter, it'd probably be good. You got all-wheel drive, get yourself some nice winter tires, and you're fine. It's got a lot of performance. I've been being a nuisance pretty much all week. I almost always drive in sport mode. It's the only way to drive this car. Sport Plus when I really want to get dangerous. And yeah, I just love that I can do that. I love that I can put sport and be a little bit, pushy, and then Sport Plus and just absolutely rip. And then when I'm done, I can go back to individual mode where I still get the sporty steering, but my suspension is nice sitting in comfort mode. So I just get the best of all worlds with the TLX Type S. Is it missing a manual? You could argue that, sure. Is it expensive? Yes, but you don't have to get it because the A spec is there too. You don't really need this crazy engine. I'm sure the driving is still just as good in the A spec. If that's all that money can buy you, it's still a fantastic looking version of the TLX A spec or Type S. They're both very good looking versions of it. So if you're out for looks and maybe no performance, there's that too. But if you can spring for the TLX, absolutely do it. You will not be disappointed. I have a hard time finding bad things to say about this thing. Like, I don't like the trackpad. That's probably the biggest thing. But that's it. I mean, that's it. And they fixed my complaint last year with it looking dated with the digital, with the gauge cluster being analog and digital. I said they should just make it all digital, keep up with the times. Bang, they did it. Look, they fixed a lot of my problems from last year and then made the driving just as good. They made the sound deadening a little bit better as well. So they just improved, and that's what you want to see, and that's what makes this thing absolutely worth buying. I think you should go check it out. I think it's worth the money. You'll have a great time. You really will. All-season car. It's good to go. So I won't be too long because like I said, nothing's really changed driving perspective-wise. Went over the changes with you already, so that's pretty much it for the week with the 2024 Acura TLX Type S. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe. Turn my bell notifications on every time so you know every time I post a new video, because YouTube is absolute trash at telling you when I'm actually posting. Even if you press subscribe, you won't always see my videos. But with my bell notifications on, you'll be the first one notified, and you'll be able to let me know what you think of the car I'm driving that week right away. And that being said, I will see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.